Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about scams and how you can spot them. I will be telling you about in 2020 I had to have a lot of work done on my teeth because I had receding gums. I never appreciated how much damage that tooth grinding can do to your teeth. This is an edited version of the bruxism video that I did last week. I've re-edited it so that it will be monetized properly, given that I'm trying to earn money for my two grandchildren, Jack and Lily's education. That video was restricted because I discussed two certain subjects. So this is the video without those subjects in it. Hopefully YouTube won't restrict its monetization, given that I'm trying to raise money for their education. If you have watched this video already, then feel free to not watch it, or just leave it running and then pretend you've watched it. But if you haven't, then stick around. Right, the first thing that has been happening is I have been receiving not just one, but two scams. One was the scam that you get on Messenger, and somebody whose number you don't recognize shows up and says hi, or hi mum, as it has been in the past. I didn't know this person. It didn't show up in my contacts. I didn't actually click onto the message, but I just deleted it because I am fearful of getting into some kind of text exchange and them somehow getting into my phone. I know I'm a bit paranoid, but people can do some weird and wonderful things with these scams these days, and I suspect they've seen that I'm 68 and think that I'm probably a stupid old fool, and they can scam me. I did receive one of these text scams about 2 or 3 months ago when the message from yet another number that I didn't know said, "Hi mum," and that was it. So I said, "Hello." Well, I text back, "Hello." And I said, "Who is this?" So they said, "It's your favourite child." Well, so I said, "And who is that?" They said, "I'm your oldest child." Well, I'd been just having a chat a couple of days previously with my oldest child, and she was telling me that she had got the latest iPhone and she loved it. Now, there is no way on earth that she would go over to Android because she can't work out why her partner has an Android. We are just Apple enthusiasts. We like the operating system, everything about it. So the person saying, "I've got a Samsung blah blah blah," and then I said, "Why on earth did you do that?" And they said, "Because I like the camera." And I thought, this is not my child, this is a scam. So I contacted all of my children, like millions, and I asked them had they sent me a message, and all of them said no, and so I deleted it. I took a picture of it, but I deleted it. And we've arranged to have a secret question, just in case it happens again, because you never know with these devious so-and-sos. So that was one. And the other one was via email. It purportedly came from O2, my mobile provider. And it said, "Hi, you are the lucky one to have won an iPhone 16. Click here to obtain your prize." And I thought the chances of that happening are 0. But what I did do, and I would urge you all to do this, is to click on the sender's email address. Then you will find out the real address that they're actually sending you the email from. Although this email just had O2 and it did look like O2, it actually came from some completely random email address, and you know it's a scam. So I put that, well, I blocked the sender and I put it into my junk folder and then I deleted it. You really do have to be so incredibly careful these days. And they do target older people. I think it goes on everywhere. You just have to be really aware of what's going on. Pity, but that's the way it is. That person that texted me on WhatsApp, I didn't click on the message, but I did ring it. And it said, "It has not been possible to connect your call. Please try again later." So you know that it is some person, probably in Nigeria or somewhere at a call centre, trying to hook you up and scam you. It's such a shame that people think it's okay to do that these days, but they do. Now here's the thing. Last night I was watching, right, I'll tell you what I do. I do double screen. You know, there aren't enough hours in the day for what I need to get done. Since I've had this channel, since I've started the other channel too, goodness, I don't know where the day goes. I really don't. It just goes. So it's not just this channel actually. I have double screened for years. In days gone by, it would have been Pinterest. Now, I know we don't generally copy our children, but for a long time, my Katie would sit there at home and she would be using Pinterest whilst watching television. I didn't know what Pinterest was. Anyway, she showed me, and I do love creative apps and things, all things creative. And I got into that. And then she got into Instagram. And of course her mother followed. And then I was doing that instead. She's not done TikTok. So I have done that, but now I'm off it. And I'm off Instagram as well because I've got YouTube, and frankly that takes up enough of my time. So what I tend to do in the evening, now don't shoot the messenger. I know that what I'm doing is naughty and I should try better, but I've got to make up some hours. So what I do in the evenings is I sit and I more or less listen to a program on telly. And then whilst I'm doing that, I've got my earbuds in and I'm also watching, because I am a multi-talented soul, you know, I am also watching the videos of the people that I've subscribed to on YouTube and leaving comments, because I think if you are trying to support people, you need to do that. You need to take time to listen, watch, and leave a comment, even if it's a short comment, anything actually, to show you've been there. I like and I leave a short comment. Sometimes I leave a long comment because frankly I've got too much to say, but I do leave a little comment, and I do that mostly in the evening. I also do it first thing in the morning. Like I always watch Tracy Life in the Wild West in the morning, and I also always watch YouTube Over 40 in the morning whilst I'm stuffing all my pills in my mouth. That way I am doing those, and you know, I've done 2 of my channels that I support. I also watch Introverted in Alaska the first thing in the morning as well. So those are 3 channels I watch. And then I do all my messages as well. So that takes up about an hour and a half first thing in the morning once I've uploaded a video, and if I've got a lot of messages, because I think it's important to reply genuinely reply, because that's one of the things that used to really make me feel that I wasn't even worth it, when I would leave a message for a channel and they wouldn't even bother setting pen to paper or, fingers to typewriter. Oh, I'm showing my age. Fingers to keyboard and leave me a reply. When I sent a message to Chase Hughes, who's got tons of subscribers, so he must get inundated with messages, he replied, and I was totally blown away, absolutely blown away. I thought, how incredibly lovely of that person to reply. It's little things like that that really make you feel seen and heard, and that, for me, is important. And although others say, well, I send you a heart, if you've got a channel and somebody sends you a message, it takes not even a nanosecond to press that heart button, and that's it. So those people that just send a heart, well, they didn't even need to actually read the message. They could go through, if they had 50 messages, they could go through those in less than 50 seconds. Dup, 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 dup. And that's it. That's what I feel, because I know that's how quickly it can be done. That's why I don't do it. I find it's lazy. These people are spending time on your channel, and if they watch all the way through to the end, which I usually do, then they have given you a lot of their time. A lot of their time, and the least they deserve in return, in gratitude, is you write a few words back, I think. I do hope that if I ever got to the heady heights of, several 100,000, and I know that's probably going to take me about 20 years, by which time Jack and Lily will have left school and I'll still be trudging down the road of, I'll make another video and let's see if we can get you a house or a deposit. I will still be working for them. I think it's what I can do for them to make an impact, a positive impact on their life, now that my channel is monetized, and hopefully one day the second channel will be monetized and help that too, because this month I got paid, I think it was, hang on, I'm going to tell you exactly what it was. This morning, comes into my account this morning, and I got paid £96.93 this month. So that went straight to Jack and Lily's savings account. And so far this month, I'm on target for my March earnings at the moment to be £41.82. So don't ever think that you're going to get rich quick doing this malarkey, because unless you're really, really fortunate, and although I am in a lot of ways, I don't think I'm going to be that fortunate as to how much money I'm going to earn on YouTube. Last night I watched Neil Morrissey. He's got a lot of subscribers actually, 40-something thousand. I think it's 46,000. Anyway, he had somebody on there, and she had been making content since she was, I think, 18, maybe even younger. Very talented young lady. He asked her what channels she liked. She talked about two or three that she watched, and one of those was called Kurz gesagt. Now that is German for in short or in a nutshell. Kurz gesagt, in a nutshell, in brackets. It is an educational channel. made up of cartoon characters that explain things in an easy way to people or young people. And I thought, well, I looked at it and I thought, what a really brilliant idea. Jack and Lily are coming to stay the weekend, and we are going to take them to the Savile Gardens adventure play. They like that, and we'll sit and watch them and have a cup of coffee. It's for 2 hours. It's not a cheap place to go to, but it is beautiful, and children absolutely love it. You know, they race around like lunatics. There's so many beautiful areas to go and play on, and it's been beautifully crafted, which is what I like about it. Anyway, that said, I thought when I looked at this channel, Kurz gesagt, I thought, I wonder if Jack would be interested in it, because he's a very quiet, thoughtful child, and he finds all sorts of things interesting, and it might help him. He might find it interesting. So I'm going to show it to him. Plus, I thought that this weekend, when we go to Savile Gardens for the adventure play, I would give him my DJI Osmo 3 camera so that he can make a video of walking around Savile Garden. He will enjoy that because he does like making films. And I thought I would give Lily my old iPhone to use as a camera, and so that she can take films and take pictures. So that should be fun. We'll see what happens. Then I will show Jack, if he wants, how he can upload his film into iMovie and then begin the editing process. Now, if you ever want something technical done, you tend to ask somebody just over 3, because they are just so up with technology. They're not like old people, you know, oh my goodness, please show me again, I don't know how to do it. They just get a grip of it and run with it. So I thought, well, you know, at home he's got iMovie on the home computer, and should he wish to, he could start learning that as an interest. I don't think they're ever too young to learn, so that's what we'll be doing this weekend. Following my wig adventure from a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still wearing it. I really do love this wig, even though it's a little tight. Anyway, I have been approached by a company called WigShe to see if I would like to do a collaboration with them. So I contacted them back to find out what they would want for this collaboration. And they said 5+ minutes of probably talking about it. Mind you, you know, I'm already talking about it. So I don't think that talking for 5+ minutes is going to be a hardship, because, you know, we all get to the stage as we age that hair, unless you're really, really, really fortunate and don't have a problem, but even some people with really thick hair notice that it is getting thinner as we age. It's just a thing. And with me, my hair starts falling out so regularly. It's almost like if I get stressed or I get poorly, then my hair falls out. It is just what it is. And it used to really worry me, but these days I just think, it's happening again, and I'll wear a bandana or whatever. But now I've come clean, I wear the wig. And I can tell you, there's nothing like putting on your hair and not worrying that you're going to go outside and it's all going to go frizzy, because obviously that's what happens when you get older. Because your hair loses its oomph, it starts becoming frizzy. Now, I never ever had frizzy hair. My hair was always poker straight. Have you noticed that? You know, all of a sudden your hair starts becoming a little bit kinked and it starts going frizzy, and it looks even worse if you let it go grey, because I did do that for a while. I let my hair go grey because I thought it would suit me, but what I found was that I just felt really, what's the word? Dull. Some women, oh my goodness, if I had their hair, if it all went white, then I wouldn't touch it. But mine, I don't have a good head of hair, and mine just look rubbish. So I've carried on having it highlighted at the hairdressers. I suspect if I let my hair colour grow out and just wore the wigs, then I could grow all the colour out. Obviously it would save me a fortune going to the hairdressers. That might be an idea. I might cancel my next appointment to have it cut and coloured and see if I can grow it out. Anyway, back to Wigshe. So I got an email from them. I've replied. They replied today saying that I would have to spend 5+ minutes talking about their wig. I had to choose a lace front wig that I would like to talk about. Now, I haven't done that yet, but the one saving grace, speaking as a big-headed person, is that they have different head sizes, and it does go up to a large. And you know what? That would be fabulous, because there is no fun if you have a large head to wear an average size wig cap. At the end of the day, you get these marks here. It digs in the back of your head. I wonder what that would feel like, not having this tight thing around your head. Oh, and that's the other thing. They said they would give me a 10% discount code should you wish to purchase something from their website. So I thought, I'm going to give it a go and see what happens. Whatever I say will be an honest appraisal of their wigs, because I don't want you to be missold anything. And there's nothing worse than getting something and then being disappointed. So whatever wig I choose, I will let you know exactly what it feels like. Plus, I will put it on in front of you and let you see what the change is. Now, I don't know whether I suit, well, actually, I just don't suit long hair per se. My face shape doesn't lend itself to that, I think. I'm better off having it up. But if I got a long haired wig, then I could scoop it up, put a clip in it or something, or into a bun, and have some little dangly bits down here. And that might look nice. And I do suit my hair up, so I think I will give it a go. So watch this space. I don't know how long it'll take, but I will give you the heads up, no pun intended, when it's about to happen. And you never know, this might be a long journey with Wigshe. Because, and it's going to be lace front, which means that I can sweep it back and you won't see the edge of the wig, which would be totally fabulous. So that's coming up in a future episode. Oh, This morning I was watching Tracy in the Wild West, and she went to her dentist again this week because she'd gone there last week, just a week early. I've done that. Anyway, she said she got her retainer, her night guard. Now, I have to wear a night guard because I suffer from bruxism, as does Katie. You know, we tooth grind, we grind our teeth, we clench our jaws. And I didn't know I was doing it. And I went to the dentist because I had receding gums on my lower teeth here. And that had been going on gradually for a number of years. And I was worried that eventually they might start falling out. Now, I have always taken good care of my teeth. Always. You know, brushed 2 minutes a day, twice a day. And they were nice and even and everything. But these gums were receding. I never realized that bruxism, tooth grinding, clenching, directly affects your bone density in your jaw. Did you know that? It causes resorption, not reabsorption, as you might imagine, but resorption, which means disintegration of the bone, primarily because you're pushing and clenching and exerting too much pressure on your teeth, and it loosens your bone. I found a dentist in Walton-on-Thames in Surrey, and he is just the most wonderful, caring soul. It was at the time of COVID, so when I went there, I was the only person being treated in the practice. There was the dentist, there was his assistant, and me. He actually had glasses that he would put on to me with earphones, and then I could watch a film. I had to make sure it wasn't a scary film because I do jump ridiculously high. So that was my first thing. I couldn't watch a scary film because otherwise I would be jumping out of the chair because I do jump a lot. So I decided always to opt for romantic comedies, and that was good. Although one time I did start laughing and he had to stop working. He was absolutely brilliant. No, I didn't go to Turkey for my teeth. I think you can tell when people go to Turkey because their teeth all turn out brilliant, brilliant white, almost iridescent. And I've heard so many bad things about people going to Turkey and the pain they suffer afterwards. No, this was a proper orthodontic surgeon, and he was utterly brilliant. By the time I went to the dentist, I was thinking, well, I'll go there. And I've obviously researched it because that's what I do. And I thought, I will go to the dentist and ask him to take donor gum from my palate and put it into these bits down here, my gums, and cover it up. And I thought, yeah, I'll do that. Now, it would be incredibly sore, but I was up for that because I didn't want to lose my teeth. He was a very nice man, and he went about taking, must have been upwards of 40 or 50 x-rays and pictures of my mouth and my head and so on and so forth. He had one of these x-ray machines that goes all the way around your head. And he said that I had lost, I think it was 20 or 30% of my bone density in my jaw. I mean, that's shocking. Mind you, I had an extremely stressful life, so it's not really surprising that I ground my teeth. I would find myself clenching my jaw, even whilst making a cup of tea. He was saying that the amount of pressure that a normal jaw puts into force when in normal circumstances is between 120 to 160 pounds per square inch. I mean, that's enormous. But if you suffer from tooth grinding bruxism, so you generally do it at night when you don't even know you're doing it, that amount is times by 6 to 10. So instead of perhaps £120 to £160, it could be as much as £1,200 to £1,600 per square inch. Now then you can work out why you are losing bone density underneath your teeth. Extraordinary, isn't it? So it is important to have that sorted. What I also did was I went and I had Botox put in these masseter muscles to stop me from doing that, to stop me from constantly grinding or gritting my teeth. Even when I wasn't, upset or anything, they would be gritting. Plus, also, it can affect your temporomandibular joint. You can get problems with that. And I know for a fact that Katie, when she does this, her jaw sounds like a gunshot going off. She did it on that bed over there, and she said, "Can you hear this, Mum?" And she like that. And it sounded like a gun going off. And I said, "Yes, I can. It's horrible." Anyway, she's got a mouth guard, a night guard now. So I went to the dentist, I had that done, and then he showed me the enormous amount of damage I had been doing to my teeth. Now, I do have nice teeth, as you can tell. However, I did have a ton of work on them. I spent months in the dentist's chair, each time having different teeth prepared for veneers and the repairs of where I had ground away. Even the back of my bottom teeth had been ground away by the top teeth. I mean, he showed me the groove that I had ground away. And after months, literally months, my whole mouth was fixed. I am really pleased with the result. They still look like my teeth, but the areas that were showing that my gum had receded were covered up, and the rest of them were built out a little as well, I think. So it was worth it. If you can afford it. It has been a worthwhile thing, and at least I know that my teeth aren't going to start becoming loose, because obviously that is a worry. Now, what else was I going to tell you? Now, when you have a channel and you have subscribers, they actually do become your friends. I know they're at a distance, but I can tell you now that you see names come up regularly, and it just is the part of having a YouTube channel that really brings you joy. And sometimes if you don't hear from them for a while, well, I worry. Well, what's happened to them? I wonder if they're okay. I wonder if they're not well. I do. I wonder and I worry because I'm a natural born worrier. But one of my newer subscribers, she's a 70-year-old lady in South Africa. And she has decided to make herself a YouTube channel. And I've been watching her and I can see that she just wants to help people. You know, you can see it coming out of every pore of her body. She just wants to help. She sent me a message the other day. Her channel is called Embracing Our 70s. And she sent me a message the other day, really upsetting. She said that one of her relatives, female relative, had said to her that everyone, everyone, thought that she was, I'm going to use words that she didn't use because I can't remember exactly, but in essence, her female relative said that everyone thought that she was a fool, that nobody wanted to watch her channel, she should give up, and she was making a fool of herself. And I thought, what a horrible person that person is. She must be jealous. I mean, why else would you say that in such a cruel way? That was meant to hurt, and it did. It hurt her. She took it to heart. So I wrote her a reply and thought long and hard what she should tell this person, and I put that in my answer because I felt outraged on her behalf. I mean, people, if they can't say something nice, then they should just say nothing at all, is my thought, especially when she's her relative. Just horrible woman. Anyway, I have been watching her. She does only make short videos at the moment, about 6 minutes, and I did say to her, one day when you are monetized, you need to think about having a video around 2 or so minutes longer than you're doing currently, because if you don't, then they won't put mid-roll ads on those videos and it will restrict her earnings. And given that she's putting so much time into these videos, it would be nice to be paid a couple of pence each time, wouldn't it, from a mid-roll ad? If that's the amount that she gets, even a couple of pence, I mean, you can see how much money I'm earning. But, I just thought, isn't that sad that people want to suck the joy from other people? Even if no one was watching her videos, and she has got nearly 700 subscribers, even if no one was watching her videos, then what gives that other woman the right to suck the joy out of Rose's life? It must take some kind of mean-spirited person to want to do that. And I know on this channel, we are people who want to help, and we are kind. And I just felt very sad for Rose and how she was feeling, because it will knock her confidence. Horrible, isn't it? The other thing I've been watching is YouTube Over 40, Karen. She has been doing some great YouTube tutorials at a speed that I can follow, and I'm all for that. There's nothing worse than when you're my age watching somebody talk 10 to the dozen and their mouse is flying all over the screen and you can't even see it. So she has been doing some sterling work doing these tutorials. I think she might have found her niche because honestly, she's very good at that. She did a tutorial the other day on how she copied a very popular thumbnail but made one for herself in Canva. And I thought, wow, that's very clever. I would never have thought that you could do those sort of things in Canva. I mean, Joe Wildsmith is very good at those sort of things as well. And if my channel ever becomes a sort of channel that needs some merchandise, then I will get her to do it on her print on demand thing, because she is very good at designing those sorts of things. So that might be something in the long distance future. However, back to Karen, she is actually quite funny and she's got the most fabulous design sense. She's a very avant-garde dresser. I used to be like that. I used to spend enormous amounts of money to buy cardigans with big rips in them and things like that. And somebody used to say to me, have you noticed that that's sort of a bit torn? And I'd say, no, I bought it like this. It was expensive. But I've grown out of that. And when I see people with those rips in their jeans, I often feel like offering to mend them. And of course, they spent a lot of money getting those tears. The other person that I've been watching is Alison over 50. And oh God, this morning I watched her and she was talking about anxiety with YouTube. And of course, that struck home with me because I defy anyone that says they don't get anxiety about their channel. I think it's, even big YouTube channels get anxiety. That Neil Morrissey was talking about his subscribers and clearly he had anxiety. But the one thing that creeped me out on Alison's video this morning was that she found a bug in her bathroom. Now, I think of a bug and I think a little woodlouse, and I mean, they're not even a centimetre long and they creep me out, absolutely creep me out. And they get under our front door in the summer. But Alison said she had a cockroach that big. Now, I thought cockroaches were about that big, but she said cockroach this big. So they got an exterminator in, and he said it was a water cockroach, which is a thing, apparently. She lives in America. Anyway, it had got in. I mean, that was like a monster. You just imagine having one of those running around in your bathroom. Oh my God, I get creeped out by loads of ants, all that sort of thing. I just get creeped out. Having said that, I will pick up a spider in my hand unless it has a big fat body, in which case they do bite. So I won't pick those up. I will get a glass and a piece of paper and throw them outside. But honestly, imagine having a cockroach in your bathroom that size. Ugh. And the last thing I want to mention is I can remember watching a podcast and they were talking about an American footballer who decided he wanted to give up his successful career in American football and pursue his passion and become an artist. And giving up American football and all that money, because he was immensely successful, to go to a completely different career. he had to take all sorts of jobs, even sweeping up in the car park or whatever. And he said to this person, I just imagined doing it as if I were being paid $1 million, and that my job, any job that I did, had to be that good. And I was watching a man sweep the courtyard in a petrol station today as my darling boy filled up the car. And he was doing such a beautiful job of sweeping this forecourt. And it's such a simple job, but he was making it a job as if he were being paid £1 million to do it. And that made me realize why I try to do the very best job that I can for this channel. Because the way you do one thing, you do everything. I almost felt like applauding him. He was making such a beautiful job of this forecourt, and it's those small jobs that go by unnoticed and perhaps appreciated by some that make a difference. And if you have been, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.